I started watching Caitlin Clark when she was in the 8th grade when I was at Vanderbilt.
How about that?
And then I called a lot of her games in college when she was at Iowa. And so I've really watched her continue to learn and grow. And
Stephanie White isn't pulling any punches. She's here to set the record straight and debunk everything Cheryl Swoopes has been saying about the Indiana Fever. And trust me, it's big.
She's a great player. She's a high IQ player. She adjusted really quickly to this league.
Unbelievably
quick to this league. And now it's about becoming not just a great player, but becoming a great leader.
Swoopes has been stirring things up again on her podcast, making bold claims that don't quite line up. From highlighting Kelsey Mitchell's crucial role on the team to breaking down Caitlin Clark's game-changing impact, White is making sure the truth comes out.
The Fever are playing, I don't know how many games they played just in a row. But what I've seen from this team, it's not just about like one player.
Earlier this year, Cheryl Swoopes shared her take on Caitlin Clark, and let's just say it raised a few eyebrows. She confidently claimed Clark was in her 5th year at Iowa, even though it was actually her 4th, a season where Clark was making history with her incredible scoring achievements. Swoopes didn't stop there. She suggested Clark's skills wouldn't translate well to the WNBA. But when Clark made her rookie debut with the Indiana Fever, she silenced all the doubters.
What she goes through on a daily basis, she carries a heavy load, right? With our league and with her abilities, certainly. But where we are from this tipping point in the WNBA and from popularity.
Her stats spoke volumes. 19.2 points, 5.7 rebounds, and a league-leading 8.4 assists per game. Not only did she win Rookie of the Year, but she also secured a spot on the All-WNBA first team. Indiana Fever's coach, Stephanie White, recognized Clark's immediate impact. White didn't just see a talented player, she saw a leader who uplifted her teammates and played a key role in taking the Fever back to the playoffs for the first time since 2016.
So players that are on the floor, they know, right? Like they get a sense, they get a feel of what's working, what's not. My first conversation with her about X's and O's the other day, I was just like, okay, well, how do you want to improve?
When Caitlin Clark started proving everyone wrong with her WNBA performance, Cheryl Swoopes had to change her story. At first, she was all about how Clark's game wouldn't work in the league, but once that didn't stick, she switched gears and started picking apart other parts of Clark's career. Honestly, it wasn't a one-time thing.
Earlier videos.
So for people to come at me and say that I made those comments because I'm a racist, like, first of all, Black people can't be racist, but like that's the farthest thing from.
Swoopes had a habit of making bold predictions that just didn't hold up, whether it was about Clark's college years or her pro potential. Then she decided to take aim at the whole Indiana Fever team.
I feel like after the break, I still don't think she's dominating, but she's a different player than she.
She started throwing around claims that some of the team's key players were unhappy and wanted out. But here's the thing. The real vibe in the Fever locker room couldn't be further from what she described. The team's all about support, inside jokes, and having fun together, not the drama Swoopes was hinting at. Honestly, her version of events felt so off that people started wondering if she was even talking about the right team. Whatever her angle, it didn't match up with the actual energy and unity the Fever players share. When it comes to the Indiana Fever, Stephanie White has a lot to say, and it's not about drama or division. Instead, she shines a light on the team's chemistry, their drive to improve, and the positive energy Caitlin Clark has brought to the table. The Fever's locker room isn't the chaotic mess some might claim. It's a space where players grow together, support one another, and share plenty of laughs along the way. Take it from Lexi Hull and Erica Wheeler, who see Clark as a glue that holds the team together. Hull relies on her for confidence and encouragement, while Wheeler points out how Clark's jokes can turn even the most intense moments into something lighthearted. That's the kind of vibe that builds strong teams, not divides them. From players to management, everyone seems to be on the same page. The Fever are in this together. Of course, Swoopes wasn't done stirring the pot. This time, her focus shifted to Kelsey Mitchell, a core player who's weathered the highs and lows with the Fever. And if you thought her previous claims were bold, the ones about Mitchell took things to a whole new level. Kelsey Mitchell had an incredible season, and her stats back it up. She put up 19.2 points per game, hit 40% of her shots from beyond the arc, and helped lead the Indiana Fever to their first playoff appearance in 7 years. Those numbers aren't just good. They're the kind of stats that scream star player. But Cheryl Swoopes had a different perspective, suggesting Mitchell wasn't getting the recognition she deserved from the team. So was there any truth to that? Let's break it down. Mitchell didn't just have a great season, she was unstoppable. Her field goal percentage hit a career high at 46.8%, but her value wasn't just in the numbers. She was the heart of the Fever's success, a driving force behind breaking their playoff drought. Performances like that don't just get noticed, they demand attention. Kelsey Mitchell had an outstanding season, and her numbers prove it. She averaged 19.2 points per game, shot 40% from beyond the arc, and helped lead the Indiana Fever to their first playoff appearance in 7 years. That's a huge achievement, and it's clear she played a massive role in the team's success. But then Cheryl Swoopes came out claiming that Mitchell wasn't getting the credit she deserved. So, is there any truth to that? Let's take a closer look. Kelsey wasn't just good, she was on fire. She posted a career-high field goal percentage of 46.8%, but it wasn't just about her personal stats. Mitchell was essential in the Fever breaking their playoff drought. That's the kind of performance that turns heads and shows just how important she was to the team's success. And if you think Mitchell was overshadowed by Caitlin Clark's rookie season, you'd be mistaken. In fact, Clark's league-leading assists actually helped Mitchell score more, proving that both players elevated each other's game. Mitchell herself has expressed deep gratitude towards the Fever and her teammates. Far from feeling overlooked, she felt supported and valued. So what does this tell us? Mitchell is clearly a star, her contributions are recognized, and Swoopes' narrative just doesn't line up with the reality of what's happening with the Fever. Sometimes the most dramatic stories are the ones based on speculation rather than facts. But Swoopes wasn't finished yet. She set her sights on another topic: the departure of Christy Sides, the Fever's former head coach. Sides had led the Fever to their first playoff berth in 7 years, but suddenly found herself out of a job. Swoopes suggested that Sides was overwhelmed by all the attention Caitlin Clark was getting, and she deserved more respect. However, the Fever's official statement told a different story. Kelly Krauskopf, the team's president, praised Sides for her hard work and dedication. This didn't sound like a team throwing someone under the bus, did it? Krauskopf made it clear that the decision was about being bold and pursuing bigger goals, like bringing a WNBA championship to Indiana. The team recognized Sides' contributions, but ultimately, it was about making a strategic move to position the Fever for future success. It wasn't about punishing failure. It was about setting the team up for something greater down the line. And just when you thought the drama couldn't get any more intense, Lexi Hull stepped up to share her perspective. As Caitlin Clark's teammate, Hull had a front row seat to everything happening in the locker room, and she had a very different view from Swoopes. She described a team that was united, where everyone had each other's backs. Hull made it clear, this wasn't just talk, the Fever really were a close-knit group.